Okay, Southern, this is your machine. The scale's right there with the frame and the filler is there. And we're gonna go over a few of the things on the screen. Let's start with that. So you have your Allen Bradley PLC here, and you have, let's start with your fill motor. You're gonna want that on when you're running, but right now we're just gonna leave it off so you can hear me. All right, so you have manual run. You can jog the auger. Well, the jog the auger would work when the fill motor's on. That's the preload in the beginning of the day or empty the hopper at the end of the day. When you do that, you can put on with fill or continuous. That's your agitation blade that's in the inner wall of this hopper here, okay? So that's manual mode, it's pretty simple. We go return. All right, setup. You don't have a cutoff, but if you ever get a cutoff, you do have a cutoff delay. Agitation shutoffs, if you walk away from the machine and you have it in continuous mode, it will shut off after 10 minutes. If you're not using the scale, you can go up or down in turns, however much you want. So we'll say a tenth of a turn. So when you're in turns, you can go up or down a tenth of a turn. Don't have a level control, but if you do ever get one, you have a delay for that. So that's pretty much that. Let's go into edit recipe. Recipe 3, we have turns. We're at 5 turns. That's not using the scale. That's how many revolutions you want. You can change the recipe name by just tapping on this, and then a screen comes up with the alphabet and some numbers. The fill amounts right here, you just tap on that, whatever you want to do for turns. Again, we can go up to the 2 decimal points. You can put dribble amount in there, but it won't work if you're in turns. All right, so we'll show you how you do that in a second. And then you have, sorry for the shakiness. Fill timeout is this has to be longer than your fill time. So your fill turns is 0.3 of a second. This is 50 seconds. But if this was set at 0, it would actually say encoder loss. So you want to make sure that's higher than your fill amount. And then your product's mostly going to be with fill. So as the auger turns, the agitation turns. Again, sorry for my shakiness. I'm holding the iPad with my one hand. Here we go with, let's go into weight now. Okay, so we have weight. Recipe 1 is 2 pounds. So we're going to fill to 2 pounds. Again, this fill timeout has to be longer than your filling time. This is when you want your auger to slow down. So this is coming off of the fill amount. So 2 pounds is the total amount. At 1.5 pounds is going to slow down, all right? And we're going to have agitation with fill. That is recipe 1, all right? And then you can go into auto run. You want to make sure that you're in recipe 1 for your weight. If you're not in recipe, if you're not in that recipe and you want to select a different recipe, just go to the bottom right, as you can see, which is select recipe. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and tear this out. Okay, you can see right now the current weight's 0. The Preact does it automatically, and you can hit start. So I'm just gonna run through this real quick with you. Let's go back to return. We're gonna start the fill motor, go to auto run, and we're gonna hit start. And we're gonna hit the foot pedal, which is down here. You can hear the augers turning, okay? The auger's not in there right now, but the auger is turning, and we're gonna put some weights on here, okay? So that weight. Okay, now we just slowed it down. As you can see here, we're at 1.5 pounds. So you can hear the auger slow down. Now we're gonna fill the rest. Again, we're putting just weights on here. All right, so I put 2.09 pounds on there and it stopped. Okay, so your Preact, that'll do it automatically. So next time it'll stop at 1.99 pounds or something like that. So just so you know how that works. But that is how the weight works. It's that simple. All right, so let's go ahead and go through the machine a little bit with you. Your scale does have some height adjustable pads, so your frame. If you want to raise or lower the auger, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and just turn this motor off real quick so you can hear me better. Okay. So if you want to raise or lower the fill head, just do loosen the set screw here, and then it just jacks up right down there. Back here you have your AC drive. This is how you can
you can slow down your auger even more or speed it up in that dribble fill. It's a bulk and dribble. When you slow it down, you can come back here and mess with the AC drive to go slow. All right, so right now that's a pretty good setting, so you probably don't need to touch it. Right here is your overloading contactor for your agitation. So if your agitation were to have a trip, you can hit this little blue trip to reset it. And this is where you're going to bring your power in. As you can see, we brought your power to L1, L2, L3. It's 223 phase, and there's a ground right there as well. We don't put any holes in there, but you're going to want to pop a hole somewhere in the bottom of the box, depending on where you want, or in the side, however you want to mount it. So you do have a main off-on switch on the back of the machine here. Anytime you work on the machine, you want that to be off. Coming around the side here, you can take your hopper off, of course. You would loosen this bolt right here and take your quick release clamps off, or unhook them is what I meant, and take this whole piece off. This should always be connected, this bracket and coupling. These bolts should never loosen, okay? Because it's lined up right now. We don't want to loosen these bolts. We want to loosen, and we don't want to loosen these bolts either. You can if you want to end up taking the hopper out of the coupling, but you don't really need to do that. This is for holding your funnel in. Your auger is going to be spring loaded, so when you put your auger in, you're just going to push up and twist, and your funnel is again held in by these little screws right here. Up top, you have your vent sock. You have side covers. There is some venting in there because it does get hot. Inside there is your clutch brake. Up top is your V-belt. A lot of the stuff you're never going to really touch too much. Might want to add some grease into the idler sprocket every now and again, but there's really not much you're going to do up top, okay? So I'm trying to think if there's anything else. You do have an E-stop right here in case anything goes wrong. Just hit that to turn it off, and you pull that back on to turn it on. So that is pretty much it. Our number is right on the screen there, 610-466-1440. You can give us a call if you have any questions, and thank you for your business. Take care.